So we're just doing running repairs on a neighboring air fryer. So their plug collapsed, and we've got 2 red plugs to change it with, and we're also changing out the plug on the end. So if you don't have a crimper with you, and I prefer not to crimp and I solder, then you can just fill the end of this with solder and then push the wire and let it cool, and it's a workable solution till you get home.
One.
Okay, so we've stripped the cable back, we've got the solder, got our little butane heat gun, and we're just going to heat this up until the solder melts. Obviously everything gets very hot. Okay, so it takes a bit for everything to get warmed up and for the solder to get soft. You want it nice and soft all the way to the bottom. And once it's soft, let's bring that a bit closer. Once it's soft, you stick the cable in. Okay, once it's soft enough, you get the cable in the whole way, stop burning it and just wait for it to cool down, and then it's as good as soldered. Just cut any stray strands off, throw a bit of insulation tape around it, and it will be a good enough bush fix until you need it again. And most of my Anderson plugs are actually soldered and not crimped, because if I have a problem I can then just resolder it and refix it. I've had crimped plugs fail on me more often than I've had solder plugs fail on me. That's just my experience. Folks, that's a bush fix for a broken Anderson plug. We'll see you later. So folks, just one last thing. There we go. It's all done, and now it's ready to be inserted back into the Anderson plug and ready to work again. And it's as simple as that. There's no magic to it. So just be prepared. Pair of vice grips, pair of pliers, some solder, and some spare Anderson plugs in all the colors that you need, and you're good to go. You can fix your own wiring in the bush, and it's important to know your own wiring because there's always something to fix. So we got a tire with sidewall damage here. You just see there, far from any tire shop. So what we're going to do is patch it or plug it and then use it as a spare until we get home. So in the bush you need to bush fix, but we wouldn't run this tire on the freeway, not at all. But it will function fine as a spare. We've got our TJM tire repair kit here, our impact if we need to take it off, a couple of jacks, and what we're basically going to do is we're going to put some plugs into the tire. First we're going to ream the tire, and then we're going to plug it. I've prepared my plug. We're actually going to plug this tire twice, so I've marked it with chalk. I'm going to plug it there and there, and if necessary we'll stick another plug in the middle. Always use metal with metal handles so that it doesn't go through your hand. So in this clip you'll see that we didn't end up with just 2 plugs. We ended up with 5 or 6 plugs because sidewalls are notoriously difficult to fix and generally wouldn't be fixed. But as we were in the bush and had 200 kilometers before we would get to a tire repair shop, we just wanted a usable spare that we could throw on the vehicle and get us to the next stop if we lost another tire. So this wasn't about using a tire on a freeway or anything like that. This was simply to have a backup on the way down to Malalan from Balula and to have a usable spare in case another tire went. So that's why we took the effort to fix it in camp rather than just go to a shop. So we're struggling a bit with the tire. We've got some tire weld and 5 plugs in it. We just want to get it usable as a spare. We're going to go drive it now to see if we can get the tire weld to spread. So we've put 5 plugs in and a can of tire weld. There's still a tiny slow leak, but in the bush it will get us to the next place that can fix it properly. So we're going to put the spare tire on now and just keep this as a spare. We've got compressors, so there's no issue. So always have your tire weld and your plugs in your car, and you can repair wherever you are. Just to go with the bush fix theme, I had one of these switches fail on the caravan and we couldn't source a new one just before Christmas in Malalan. Luckily, a shop there was able to provide me a switch like that, and we were able to continue our trip no problem. So in the meantime, I had ordered the replacement switch. I've got a slightly different one, which I'm hoping will be a bit stronger. And yeah, it was 30 rand of Communica or something like that, and we'll just plug it in and get it going again. But yeah, just a little bit of knowledge around 12 volt, finding the right shop that was still luckily open, and we're good to go again. So I carry with me all the stuff to make these changes in the field if I have the spares. In this case, I had to cut the ends off and just wrap it around the screws. And while I was in town here, I went and got the correct push-on adapters. I've put it on and I've changed out the other side so that both switches are exactly the same. And yeah, we're back to working switches now. Cool. Get some knowledge and be able to push fix what you need to when you need to, so that you can carry on with your holiday and sort it out when you get home.